chairs and the rest of the working group. And I guess otherwise our agenda for today is pretty light. Or?
Yes. So the agenda is pretty light. The topics on kind of document status are more like, yeah, just things are progressing there, and the respective authors are responding to the comments, so all is going well. And we might get a visitor from C2PA, but that's kind of very, yeah, if I manage to drop by level, and I don't, given that no one else has anything currently pressing, we might stay with we might be a very small group today.
Mm-hmm. I see Scott. Scott is here, and Richard. Hi.
Ah, hello.
I don't know if you want to wait a little bit longer.
Yeah, I'd wait until like 3 to 5 minutes after the hour, because we are only the 5 of us so far.
Okay.
Hello, Barry. So until the point where I think that no one more will join us, you might want to have a look at the HackMD, CodyMD HedgeDoc, Etherpad, whatever, that I just sent around in the chat. So if there's anything you want to add to the list of things to talk about today, it's not much really on it right now. Feel free to add that right away, or jump in when we go through the list. Ah, hello, Peter. Okay, being 4 minutes past the hour, I'd like to start this meeting. Hello and welcome, everyone. This is an interim meeting of the CBOR working group. You all know the procedures, not well applies. We have a few items on the agenda for today, and it's really more of a brief status update. So I'll just say a few words on CDDL control and the network addresses status, and then point you to a work that has started around using CBOR and COSI for image metadata. Is there anything anyone would like to add to the list right now? Okay, hearing nothing there, let's go through the working group documents. CDDL control has received a few good comments from Francesca, Teresa, and Janran. Carsten has started working on them, and the biggest issue that I've seen there is the question that we've discussed earlier already, but we might need to revisit that, is whether this document should really be informational or whether it needs to be on the standards track, depending on how the properties of extending an IANA registry or of adding a point to the IANA registry are interpreted. It might be that kind of this not necessarily something that only the working group needs to concern itself with, but this is a more general question that probably concerns a wider range of IETFers. On the network addresses, there have been comments as well. As I understand, Michael is on it, so this can progress as it has been already. Nothing really new. A few old questions raised again.
So for the CDDL control, I don't have anything against moving into standard track. As I was telling the authors, if the working group agrees, there is consensus that this makes more sense as a standard track, this will need another 2 weeks last call. So I will have to restart the last call. So I think there is a GitHub issue I've seen discussing this.
Yeah.
Right. So maybe it's good if the chairs or Carsten can, get some more opinions if needed, or just call consensus, so that I can either start this second last call or move the document forward.
Okay, so you see this more as a working group question and not just a procedural IETF general question.
It's yeah, I agree that, I mean, standards track makes sense from what the comments were during that last call.
Yep.
But yeah, it's up to you, chairs, if you feel like that's enough input, or if you want to have a more official call, or or even discuss it during this meeting, just see if anybody has opinions or objections about this.
So from my second phase Shepherd point of view, the consensus around this document would have been strong enough just as well for a standards track document. Just to confirm or get a wider perspective. Marco, Peter, Rickard, Scott, do you have what's your feeling about this document? Is there anything that why you would rather have this not as a consensus of the working group, but just a thing that we make statements about but don't endorse particularly? That was a mess of a sentence.
Informational, it's still a consensus document.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, Marco here. There's an argument that keeps recurring, and Carsten mentioned it about this document again, and was used also recently for SNML data CT. Even if information might be enough, standards track is still appropriate and ensures more visibility, so to say, especially for other organizations that can use the document and would be, well, a bit intimidated maybe to read all the information out there. So I think standards track would be fine.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. That's actually a good point. Now that you mention it, I remember having a very similar input received on the what was it, core no response option, with also even of IETF documents being doubtful about using it just because it was an informational document. So that adds another point towards the standards track. It should probably be listed.
And CDDL, okay, so this was informational because it does like defines extensions to a registry that is specification required. So it doesn't need to be standard track, but you know, CDDL is standard track. So to keep that consistency, to me, it makes sense to have this standard track as well.
Yep. We'll Barry, maybe we can have a brief chat at the end of this, but I think just from now we can probably even proceed here without any further delays.
Yeah, so just let me know, CC me in whatever.
Yes, we'll do.
Working group, and then I can, in case, restart this. That's cool. And then for the other document that is with me, which is the network addresses, which has ended last call, and I think there was nothing major, no major comments in the review, so I think I will just add it to the next telechat agenda, and hopefully Michael can post an update soon. The next telechat is in 2 weeks, so that should be enough time.
Okay. Thank you. Now on to the point about CBOR use in other STOs, which we've been discussing on and off whenever it came around. I've recently received a mail from Philip Brindeville, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right here, about C2PA efforts to use CBOR and COSI in image metadata. Philip, as you're around, could you maybe say a few words about what you're planning to use this for, or how this would interact with your larger ecosystem? I'm seeing you as having audio on occasionally, but not, I don't hear anything. That's weird.
Did you allow, you have to give like this permission to the browser?
Audio track closed. I haven't seen that one yet. Just to rule out, can you try, even though it should work, can you try the join the queue button? It's on the leftmost icon, and then I would clear you for audio manually. Ah, damn it! Sorry, that was my wrong button. Again, please. Okay, apologies, that changed. So can you try unmuting now? Okay. Well, then I'll give a brief summary of what I've seen from this document so far, and from the chat, and you just tell me if I'm saying anything stupid on the chat. So C2PA is looking into using CBOR data for signing assertions about pictures that are usually in JPEG form and possibly have EXIF metadata or XMPP metadata assigned to it. And CBOR would be a relatively compact way of signing that data and making sure all the cryptographic components are where they should be. This is the first public draft has just been uploaded a few weeks ago, so I'll probably have a longer read about read that through, and if anyone else is interested in kind of looking what what CBOR is used for there. I invite you to do the same. Philip, if any questions come up as to how best use CDDL and CBOR, and I see that it's even CDDL is used a lot in that text, feel free to write the mailing list and let us know kind of how things go. And yep, with that, I think we are through the part of planned documents and planned agenda points. Anything anyone would like to add or ask? Possibly also ask Philip. Oh yeah, just for those not tracking the chat, anyone working with or recommending good C or C++ COSI libraries, please get into contact with Philip, because that would be helpful. Okay, with that, I think we can call it a very short meeting. Thanks everyone for being here and bringing your topics here, or documents in most cases. And minutes will be uploaded. Thanks, Marco, for taking notes. See you all in 2 weeks. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you all. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Barry?